guys something completely broken right now. So if you notice this thermal, I've used this in the past with specific sites where I can see the thermal when I'm not aimed and also while I'm aimed. Since this last update, they made it a lot more broken. So I'll show you exactly what I mean. Even if this big ass scope, when I'm not aimed, you can see it straight through the scope. When I aim with a big scope, you do not see it. So I decided to do some testing, okay? So let me take off these sights here. If I put on something like a 2x, and let's say a hybrid sight, okay? With the 2x, it's just like the bigger scope, it turns it off when I ADS. With the hybrid sight, if I zoom in with the bigger zoom in at the 3x, you don't see it. But when I zoom out, you see it again. So you do get the benefit while ADSing with it. And no matter what scope, you're still going to have it where when you're on ADS, it's going to see through just fine. But let me try one other scope. I wanted to see like, okay, well, what if you do like a 1 to 6x? Is that going to work? That is just like the bigger scopes where when you aim down sight with it, even if it's at the 1x, you're not seeing it. But in the meantime, even if you have a big scope, this is really good for intelligence because you can scan left and right. And if there's red on your screen, you know there's an enemy. So it's really good for finding bodies. It's good for checking bushes. It's really good for nighttime maps like nighttime interchange. This is a godsend. It's pretty dope. So I would start using this until they fix it. Once they do fix it, it should go back to normal. A lot of sites what I would use back then is going to be like the burst fire, the delta point, maybe like the MRS, because when you aim down sight with it and when you're on the ADS, you can still see it. And it does depend on the gun because sometimes they're a little bit offset, so like it might block it a little bit. But that is the sights I'd use back then. But in the meantime, you can basically use anything and still get intel with this sight. One thing to note is if you switch from canted back to the regular sight, you do have more recoil. That has been a bug that they still have not fixed. I want them to fix that because that does kind of nerf it a little bit. And I have noticed when I do go in raid, it kind of starts at this position. So what I'll typically do is I'll have like a longer bag, like a big bag, any of them, where you can fit your gun sideways, put it in your inventory, and then put it back after you fix where you're going to be aiming. That way you don't have that recoil bug and you still get the benefit of it. Yeah. If you guys knew about this, let me know in the comments. If you're going to be using it in future raids, let me know as well.